All right, there you go, folks. That was the prosecution's opening statement, and we will play you a little bit of the defense's opening statement in a minute. Remember, we are going to be live in that courtroom today at around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss anything. It's going to be an exciting day. But, you know, we're getting this firsthand view. You know who somebody who is right there in the courtroom that can talk to us? Cathy Russon, our Law and Crime trial producer, is in the courtroom. Cathy, welcome back.
Hello, Jesse.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, so explain to us, by the way, I should tell you, when we look at our courtroom feed yesterday, I was trying to see you in the courtroom. I didn't quite see you. It didn't pan quite to the back of the courtroom. But can you let us know, what is it like to be there on the first day of this retrial when the emotions are running so high?
Well, I'll tell you, it's like electricity's in the air. The whole town around this courthouse. This town is very small. The courthouse has one courtroom, and that's this courtroom. That's it. And we're in the middle of their old town. It's their downtown, but it's all very just kind of old. People all day long. Our media tents are set up outside, so we're out there most of the time. The judge is not allowing electronics in the courtroom. And people are driving by all day, taking pictures. Like, this is a huge thing going on here. Then I would see the family of Quentin Tellis, family and friends out mulling about. And then on the other side of the courthouse during breaks, it would be Lisa Chambers, Jessica's mom, and that family, and they're keeping very separated.
You know, as we watch it, I can't help but think, especially when Jessica Chambers' mother took the stand, this is the second time she has to recount this story for the world to see. I mean, when you're sitting there and you're getting a sense of her having to do this, and the family members of Jessica Chambers, also the family members of Quentin Tellis having to sit there and go through all this over again, what do you see? Well,
yeah, and it's a disadvantage to the prosecution. Retrials are somewhat of an advantage, but it's a disadvantage because the amount of emotion wasn't quite there as it was in the first trial. She really broke down in the first trial. The fire chief really broke down. And this time they both kind of broke down, but for me it wasn't nearly as intense, because now we're, less than a year later, they're having to tell the same thing over again. And last year it was like the first time they were telling that in front of people. So I think that the emotion's taken just a little bit down.
You know, Ron and I talked a little bit about what the prosecution is going to be doing differently, but I'm curious, talking about the defense, correct me if I'm wrong, their opening statement seemed very similar to their opening statement the first time around. Did you see any difference in what they were saying or what their strategy might be?
No, they have kept true all along. They say Jessica named her killer, his name is Eric, and my client's name is not Eric. You need to go find the killer. That's it. And their opening statement was pretty straightforward about that. And I'm telling you, day one did not go great for the prosecution in my eyes.
You know, they brought out that speech pathologist for the prosecution. That was something to see on our end, a little bit of a change from the first case.
That's the first new witness. We had 14 witnesses yesterday, and she was the only one that's new from the last trial, because they have to combat this Eric thing. So they brought her in, but the rest of the firefighters that followed after her really negated her testimony, in my opinion.
Now, Cathy, I know we only have about 20 seconds. Oh, you know what? We got to hit our break right now. But I was going to ask you about what you expect today. That's okay. We'll catch up with you at lunch. So, Cathy, thank you so much. We'll talk to you a little bit later. We are going to go to a break on our end. And when we come back, a lot more to discuss in Jessica Chambers. Stay tuned.